You know that feeling, right? You set a huge goal, like, I'm gonna master this new skill, and then you just freeze. You feel totally paralyzed before you even start. Well, what if I told you the key wasn't some massive, grueling effort, but a simple 30-minute ritual every day? Today, we're gonna break down how this tiny commitment can unlock mastery without all that overwhelm. It all begins right here, with the blank page. In Korean, this says se memo, a new memo. And that's exactly what it is. It's the universal symbol for a fresh start. A new project, a new skill, a new idea. It's just pure potential. But let's be real, staring at all that empty space can be seriously intimidating. And this gets us to what I call the blank page problem. It's that feeling of looking up at a giant mountain and having absolutely no idea which way to take the first step. You've got the ambition, for sure, but the path forward, it's a complete fog. And that's the question that just stops so many of us dead in our tracks. It doesn't matter if you're learning to code, picking up a guitar, or trying to figure out some complex software. That initial resistance, that inertia, it can feel impossible to overcome. Where do you even begin? Okay, so instead of just talking about the problem, let's look at a concrete solution. We're going to walk through a case study built around this 30-minute ritual. Now, it was originally designed for mastering Kioptrix, which is this really challenging series of cybersecurity exercises. But here's the thing. The principle works for any skill. It's a system designed to turn that overwhelming goal into a simple, manageable daily process. The magic number here isn't 100 hours or even 10 hours. It's 30. Just 30 minutes. That tiny, unintimidating chunk of time is the absolute core of this whole thing. It's so manageable that your brain doesn't even have time to put up a fight or make excuses. So what does the ritual actually look like? It's just 3 super simple steps. First up, isolate. Don't try to boil the ocean. Pick one, and I mean one, tiny micro skill. Second, practice. You set a timer for 25 minutes and give that one thing your undivided attention. And finally, review. Use the last 5 minutes to just quickly go over what you did. That's the whole loop. Isolate, practice, review. Simple, repeatable, and believe me, incredibly powerful. You know, Mark Twain totally nailed it with this one. This whole ritual is basically that quote in action. The goal isn't to be a world-class expert by tomorrow. The goal is just to start. And this 30-minute system is engineered to make getting started as easy and frictionless as humanly possible. All right, so we've seen the what of the ritual. Now let's get into the why. Why is this small, consistent approach so ridiculously effective? Well, it all comes down to the surprising power of something called micro-habits. So what exactly is a micro-habit? It's pretty much what it sounds like. A tiny action, something so small it almost feels silly, that you do over and over again every day. Each 30-minute session isn't just you practicing, it's you laying another brick in the foundation of this huge system of mastery you're building. This chart right here tells the whole story. Look at the intense bursts approach. We've all done this, right? You cram for 8 hours on a Saturday. Yeah, you get a big spike in activity, but what happens next? Burnout. And then you do nothing for weeks. It just doesn't last. But now look at the daily ritual. The daily progress looks smaller, sure, but it's consistent. And that consistency is everything. It compounds over time, leading to real, deep, lasting skill. And you don't burn out. So what's happening in our brains here? Why does this work so well? First, a 30-minute commitment is so small it basically removes the barrier to entry. It's just too easy to say yes to. Then, every time you finish, you build a little bit of momentum. You get a little win, which creates this positive feedback loop. You feel good, so you want to do it again tomorrow. And over time, you are literally, physically rewiring your brain, building new pathways for that skill. Okay, enough theory. We've covered the why and we've seen the case study. Now it's time to get practical. How can you take all this and build your very own 30-minute ritual? Let's turn this idea into action. This is your template. On the left, you see the case study. The skill was Kioptrix, the time was 30 minutes, the first step was one micro skill. But the column on the right, that's all you. So what's the one skill you want to master? Write it down, commit to your 30 minutes, and here's the most important part. What is the smallest possible first step, your first micro action, that you can practice tomorrow? Seriously, don't overthink it. Just pick one tiny thing. And if you take away only one thing from this, let it be this. The specific skill you're learning, Cybersecurity, painting, speaking Italian, whatever, it's almost secondary. The real secret, the key to all of this, isn't the what, it's the how. It's all about the system. It's about the ritual. So, here we are, right back where we started, staring at that blank page. But hopefully, it doesn't feel quite so scary now. It's just a space, waiting for your first 30-minute session. The only real question left is the one you see right here. Your blank page is waiting. What will you master?